Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you live in the FijiWater.com sponsored studio every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And so we are here live in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just water, this is Fiji Water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware to support the broadcast, and those of you who have made a weekly or monthly commitment by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com. We thank you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So let me begin by saying, I know that yesterday it appeared that we went live and we had some technical failure. So for all of you who were trying to tune in yesterday, thank you for your patience and for tuning in. Of course, we are back on the air today live, and our broadcast is live, so you can view us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on RadioFreeNetwork.com. You can go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, the drop box will appear, and every broadcast, when you click on New Life, will be available to you. And I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers, I know that we're going to be going into the Thanksgiving season. We will be on the air tomorrow. However, due to Thanksgiving here in America, we will be off the air on Thanksgiving Day. We will return on Friday. And so just enjoy the holiday wherever you are across the U.S. And for those of you around the globe, we will be celebrating Thanksgiving here in America on Thursday. So tune in tomorrow and tune in again on Friday. We will be here live in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your family is always gossiping about you. However, not one thing that they have ever said about you is true. And you want to know, what can you do to prevent them from gossiping about you? So first, let me begin by saying this. Here's the reality. If you know that what people are saying about you in your family is not true, if those statements are not true and you've indicated that they are not, then you don't need to concern yourself or waste your time trying to address what they're talking about. See, the problem is that there's a lot of jealousy and a lot of envy going on in your family. What you have to do is focus on what God has assigned for your life. You've got to focus on what, first of all, your appointment in life. You've got to focus on your purpose in life. And don't allow what anyone else is saying about you to distract you. So I want to walk you through this a bit, because I know you've been dealing with some hurt feelings. You've been allowing your emotions to become a disruption in your quality of life because your family members, people that you believe love you, have been talking about you, not only talking about you, but they're gossiping and they're saying negative things. You didn't think that when you got to this level in your life that your family would gossip about you. You knew some friends were going to, watch this, people you thought were your friends would drop off because of jealousy. You didn't expect this from your family. But here's what you need to be mindful of, is sometimes family members can be more hurtful than people on the outside, because those aren't people that have been part of your life your entire life. There are people that you have collected along the way. So you kind of expect that from some of them. You didn't expect it from your family. So don't waste your time. Listen to this. Don't waste not another minute, not another hour, not another day being concerned about what your family has to say. The negative gossip comes from a couple of your siblings. It comes from some of your aunts and uncles. It comes from some of your cousins. It's only a distraction when you focus on the negativity that people are bringing into your presence, into your environment. It's only a distraction. And at this level, you cannot afford to be distracted. See, it's very interesting, because when we're starting out in our careers, whatever the careers may be, when we're starting out in our careers, we're so focused on trying to get to the next level, the next level, the next level, that we don't really spend a lot of time thinking about the negativity that others will bring in our environment, because we're so busy focusing on the next level. When you arrive at the level of success, and success is, you've all heard me say this many, many times, success is ever evolving. When you get to a certain level of success, people are going to talk about you. And the reason they're going to talk about you is because of the envy and the jealousy. And in your family's case, it's because they're not having the same level of success that you're having. They're not having the same type of success that you're having. You are right now having success in your body, mind, and spirit. They're not at that level. So of course, they're going to have something to say. But more importantly, now that you use the term gossiping. So now that they're talking about you in a way that's negative, you're allowing that to become a distraction. You've got to eliminate that from your environment. So they can talk all they want. And when someone, and you don't want to waste any time on or energy on that. So when someone in the family calls you, because this is what's been going on, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. When someone calls you and speaks negative by sharing with you what someone else has said, they become a disruption. When they start that conversation, you need to shut it down. You need to tell them, I'm much too busy to spend any time on any gossip that anyone has to say. Let's keep it real. You didn't sleep your way to the top. What you did was work very hard You didn't step on anyone on your way up. You just worked diligently. You kept working to achieve what you desired to achieve. You kept working to maximize your skill set. You kept working to really maximize your success. And now you've gotten to that level of success. And here they are, saying negative things about you, saying that you think you're better than everyone else, saying negative things about how you got to that place. Sure, you had a mentor who helped you to get to that place, but you didn't use that mentor. There was nothing that you did that was unethical. You did everything that you were supposed to do. The problem is that, and this is the challenge for a lot of people, so now I'm going to address this for all of our listeners and viewers. The problem is that many people don't get to the next level because even when there's someone mentoring them or someone providing information that's going to allow them to move to the next level of success, they're so focused on what they want to do and the way they want to do it that they don't receive the information. When I say receive it, not that it doesn't come to them, but they don't embrace it and implement the information that's being provided to them. And so consequently, they're not experiencing the same level of success that you're experiencing. And therefore, they're going to waste their time talking about you when the reality is if they put in the same type of energy and effort that you put in every single day, they too would be able to experience some success and they'd spend less time talking about you. Gossiping. Who is ever going to maximize their success by talking about other people? And when I say that, meaning gossiping about other people. You can talk about, some information that someone else provides. You can talk about best practices that someone else is performing. But if you're speaking negativity about someone else and just constantly saying negative things, there's no way that anyone's going to prosper and have good success doing that. So what I'm going to say to you is don't waste any more of your time on negative people, on gossiping people. Don't spend any more of your time because you're starting to allow it to disrupt what you're trying to achieve. You're starting to allow it to disrupt what you've already accomplished. Because you don't want to be talked about by your family in a negative way. And we can find haters even in our own family. Doesn't mean they hate you. It just means they despise where they are opposed to where you are. You have to keep moving forward and become an example to them that hopefully they'll embrace and they'll try something different and begin to experience the next level of success in their lives. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you want to know, how do you deal with self-centered people who never think about you and only think about themselves, yet they want you to respond to whatever they want? Okay. You started this by saying they're self-centered people. So you have to recognize that self-centered people are only concerned about themselves. So, I've used an analogy often that you have to teach people how to treat you. That's one thing. A simple form of that is don't deal with self-centered people. Stop dealing with people who are self-centered. And what that means is you might have people in your personal life, in your inner circle who are self-centered because they're family members. But you get to decide how you want to deal with everyone. Family, friends, co-workers, and colleagues. It doesn't matter. You get to decide how you're going to deal with them. That's the advantages of being an individual. And that doesn't make you self-centered. That only means that you're not going to give your energy to people who have no concern about you and only concern about themselves. So, it's very interesting because we've all, at some point in our lives, we've all had to deal with people who are self-centered. There's a difference between someone being self-centered and someone caring for themselves. We've got to learn. That's another thing that we have to learn, is how to care for ourselves. Meaning, we cannot spend our lives being responsible for other adults. We can't spend our lives being responsible for the decisions that other adults make, and then we take on the burden of overcoming their consequences. This is not about not caring about others. This is about caring for yourself. If you do everything for everyone else who wants something done in their life, you're going to someday realize that you are first of all, you're getting in God's way. Because you become the source, they'll never go to God. And secondly, you begin to wear down and eventually wear away. And what I mean by that is, it won't allow you the opportunity to enjoy a great quality of life. It doesn't mean you won't have a quality of life, but you won't be able to enjoy a great quality of life because everyone else is sucking the energy out of you. They're draining you of your energy, your resources, your intellectual property. They're draining everything from you that they can possibly obtain for their own self-benefit. And that's what self-centered people do. So you've got to recognize who they are in your life, and you've got to make a conscious decision. I'm not going to deal with them on that level any longer. I'm going to allow them to be who they are, and whatever the consequences of that are, those are consequences they're going to have to deal with. I'm going to allow them to be the self-centered person that they are, but I'm not going to allow them to disrupt my quality of life. That's a decision you have to make. Self-centered people aren't ever going to care about anyone else, because the only thing that's important to them is themselves. And you have to realize that. You have to recognize that, and you have to say, okay, I'm just not going to deal with them until they learn, watch this, to be concerned about you also. And what I mean by that is, you don't need anything from them, but they should care about you. Care enough about you that every time they call you or every time they show up, they don't need anything from you. They just want to be in your presence and nothing more. that's a real good, and this is for all of our listeners and viewers, that's a real good indicator when someone is not only self-centered, but they don't care anything about you, is that every time you see them, they need something from you. Every time they show up, it's because they need something from you. Every time they call you, it's because they need something from you. It is never just as simple as, how are you? How was your day? Because it's all about them. It's all about them. Just the way that you respond is just don't deal with them. Listen, that is the simplest way to deal with people who are self-centered. Just don't deal with them. Make a decision, a conscious decision, that you're going to live your own life and you're going to allow them to live theirs. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at their retail stores. They have everything that a man could possibly need: shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And The White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. If you're in New York, stop in at the retail store. They have everything you could possibly need. They have home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you feel that your life has become mundane, it's become boring and routine. You said you go to work, you come home, and you said occasionally you do something out of your normal routine. However, you feel you need more excitement in your life. Okay, first of all, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. And the excitement that you might get might not be the excitement that you're looking for. You know, often with excitement comes drama. And the one thing we don't need in our lives is to live a life that is drama filled, a life that is constantly disrupting your peace. So let me just begin by saying this. First of all, I'm not real certain how you can say that life is boring, because you said you go to work every day. Your career has to be an important, significantly important portion of your life and your day. Or you can reverse that, your day and your life. So you're going to work every day, so that's a good thing. The question you have to ask yourself, are you giving 100% when you're at work? Or are you giving 90% when you're at work? Are you giving 80% when you're at work? Are you just, I can go lower and say, are you doing just enough to get by? Well, the answer to that is no. But you have room to grow in what you're doing professionally, because you want to give 100% of the time. That's going to allow you to maximize your success. The percentage that you put of energy and effort that you put into your career is going to determine your level of success, just how much success you're going to be able to achieve. And what we want to do is to maximize our success. So you're going to work every day. And then you have to ask yourself, what are you doing when you come home? If you're shutting down mentally, emotionally, and you're not engaging at all, that's going to begin to wear on you also, because then it feels like you have no balance between work and life, work and home life. So you say occasionally you do something out of the normal routine. Well, let me say this to you. Routine is good. And this is for all of our listeners and viewers, because There are people who think that having a routine does not allow them to have an exciting life. And routine is absolutely just the opposite. Because you have with routine and discipline comes a better quality of life. And because you have routine and structure and discipline, you're going to find that the quality of life will be so much better. When we get off the rails and we get out of our routine and we get out of we have no discipline and we have no structure, that's when we find that the quality of our lives becomes disruptive. It's a disrupted quality of life. So let me just walk you through this for a moment. You shouldn't be looking for excitement. What you should be looking for is enrichment. You want to enrich your life, not create excitement, which in many cases leads to drama, and sooner or later drama tends to lead to crisis. So set excitement aside and focus on enrichment. And the way to do that, again, is both maximizing your success personally and professionally. So what do you want to accomplish personally every day? What do you want to accomplish professionally every day? What do you want to accomplish personally every quarter? What do you want to accomplish professionally every quarter? You've got to set your life in a structured pattern, a structured routine, so that the routine enriches your life. If you're looking at it from a perspective of all you do is come home and watch television until time to go to bed, and then you get up and go to work again the next day, of course you're not maximizing the enrichment of your life. But you can do things at home that are going to improve the environment, going to make it, you've got to be engaged, you've got to, you've got to really say, okay, if I'm giving my career 100%, then I need to give my personal life 100%. And people will say, well, how do you compartmentalize that? Because if you're giving 100% professionally, you can't give 100% personally. That's not true. And the reason is because there are two different compartments of your life that then, when merged together, the synergies create a full life, an enriched life. That's that great quality of life we talk about often. So every one of us should be living every day to enrich our lives. So I'm the first one to say excitement isn't what it's really meant to be. Because life is not about what can I do to thrill myself so that I can achieve immediate gratification. Life is about how can I enrich my life today? How can I enrich my life in a way that it will then have an impact on my children, the people, my loved ones, people around me? How can I enrich my own life so that it will impact the lives of others? Excitement is overrated because, as I said, excitement will eventually lead to some drama, and drama will eventually lead to some crisis. So we have to really understand what we're trying to do with our lives, what we're trying to accomplish with our lives. And it all begins with language. When you said you need some more excitement, that's a red flag for me. And the reason is because I understand what excitement will do. Excitement will lead to drama and to eventually crisis. We want to enrich our lives. So let's make certain that we work on that, and as we go through the remainder of this week, let's give some thought about being intentional about how we can enrich our lives. 3D, today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery. And you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is truly Earth's finest water. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Have a great day today. Remember, for all of our listeners and viewers, we are Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We are RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. Go to RadioFreeNetwork.com. Click on radio. The drop box will appear. Click on the New Life link and